Good afternoon, YouTubers. Welcome back into another edition of Astros Recap. David Artis back at it here. It is Monday, May 8th, 1:19 p.m. So another week. This week we're... Actually, the volume's not too loud there, but... Yeah, this week another short, abbreviated podcast. Around 10 or so minutes will be the goal. Like last week, again... Yeah, working early mornings, sort of, just not tired right now, but I will be. So, anyway, not a good week for the Astros. So, I actually originally tried to record this in Audacity. That wasn't working well, so I was going to sort of do this, but also record myself. Anyway, won't get into it, but just normal this week with what we're doing here. So not a good week for the Astros. So yes, 2-4. So they still haven't been swept all year. Their record sits at 17-17. So you think the team's not good, not bad. They're pretty bad right now. And we're into the month of May. I think I brought this up last week in my short podcast there. But what did I say last week? I said, it's May now. Yeah, it's May. So the whole, it's April. It's early. Excuse is now no longer an excuse. It's time to play baseball. It's time to win baseball games. It's time to take a series and separate yourself, at least, the division, which the Astros have had no problem doing each of the past, how many years? They historically haven't gotten off to great starts, so it's not like this is a whole lot different, but they can't continue to play 500 baseball. In fact, you look at the team right now. This team doesn't even look good enough to be 500, to be quite honest with you. You look up and down the lineup, you look at the averages, you look at the players. They look like a team that could easily be 5 to 10 games under 500. So it's almost a miracle to me that they're 16 or that they're 17-17 at this point in time, because, well, they don't look like yesterday's game, for instance, just to give you just sort of an example. It felt hopeless watching that game yesterday. From an offensive standpoint. Now, the pitching is a different story, which I don't think the pitching is an issue. Now, we've had our definitely bumps in the road pitching-wise. Saturday's game, obviously. But from an offensive standpoint, it just seems hopeless. Like, if it's not Yordan Alvarez or Kyle Tucker, nobody else gives you anything. Yeah, Jake Meyers a little bit here and there. We're going to get to a few players here in a minute, but Dubon has basically run out of his magical powers he had, where he had the 20-game hitting streak. He had that good game. So there was a good game, I think, on Monday against the Giants. But other than that, I don't think I can't think of a single hit he had after that. So, but Dubon's fallen flat on his face, minus the Monday game against the Giants. So not only did the Astros lose these two series, but they won the first game both times. That usually puts you in a good spot to win the series. Winning just one of the next two, the Astros couldn't do it. So I could, go on a rant, and usually when the Astros play poorly, that's when I can spend more time on the podcast, but I'm going to try to keep this short again. But there's two guys that just annoy me to no end right now, and that's Jose Abreu, and that's been the case all year, and Alex Bregman. That's also been the case all year. They've been the same. I mean, Bregman's hitting, I'll get you some numbers here, but Bregman's hitting 195 now. So listen, I went into the season saying Bregman's got to show me something. And if he doesn't, he doesn't deserve a contract right now for the Astros. He doesn't deserve to be, I don't want him back. If this continues, I don't want him. I'll find somebody else to play third base, and I'm sure that someone else can probably hit at least 200, because you can't do it right now. And, we're more than a month plus into the season, and you still stink. You're still terrible. Now, Bregman does get a lot of... Why don't people criticize Bregman more? I mean, think about Alex Bregman, a guy who debuted in 2016, okay? He came maybe like 3/4 of the way through. Took him a while to get going. If you remember, he struggled out of the gate first few weeks. He was like 1 for 20 or whatever it was, 2 for 30, whatever, I don't know. But it took him forever to get his first hit. Now he started, getting some confidence and showed us some things in 16, 17 rolls around. I can't really go through his stats in 17 a whole lot. I know he had some moments in the postseason. But it was after the 18 year. I think it was pretty good in 18. Pretty good in 18, I want to say. And he wanted to get paid. And the Astros weren't willing to pay him yet. But he complained. So the Astros said, you know what, we'll pay you right now. So they gave him $100 million over 5 years. So you do the math, that's $20 million a year. And Alex Bregman, I don't want to go through his career story here, but in 2019 had his best season ever. In fact, he was second in MVP voting. If he had waited just another year before, complaining about, money and contracts, he would have made a lot more if he had just waited a year. So smart on the Astros end, stupid on Bregman's end. However, now it's sort of flip-flopped. The $20 million is a steal for Bregman, and he's doing nothing for the team. 2020 COVID year. The whole team was bad that year. I mean, I know they came one game short of the World Series, but the whole team didn't show up until the postseason started. They were lucky to get in with the expanded playoffs. 2021, Bregman was hurt for the majority of that year. Last year, Bregman had one good month, which was August. That was it. Now, he did some home runs in the playoffs, so give him credit there. But in the 6th month regular season, he was only good in August. I'm not going to beat around the bush. He wasn't good, except for 1 month. And here we are this year, and I said this before the season started. A big spotlight on Alex Bregman. He's got to show me that he can hit, and not just for 1 month. But people don't realize how bad he's actually been. I mean, he's been terrible. He hits second in the lineup, and he does nothing for you. That's part of it. Abreu's the other problem. He's been the problem all year. I mean, Abreu gives you nothing offensively. He also gives you nothing defensively. He hurts you defensively. And I'm not going to bring up Yuli Gurriel, but one thing I will say about Yuli is there were never questions about his defense. But Bregman and Abreu, it's time to get going now. I mean, they annoy me every time they get up and they strike out or they ground out or they pop up. And it's just, I don't even see it's like they don't even care, I feel like. They just walk back to the dugout. And it's like, I'll get another at-bat, and I'll just do the same thing. It's like, I'd like to see some emotion, to show me that you care. But it seems like both these players just get up there and they just go through the motions, and they're out, and they just walk back to the dugout, and it's just like business as usual. They both stink. Show me you care. And I just feel like I don't get that. So that's what really irks me. The offense is just dead right now because, I mean, Dusty Baker, you got to make the move. Abreu should not be hitting 4th in your lineup. I get the lineups every time they're released every day on my phone, and I look straight for 4, and it's Abreu in that slot every single game, and that's just, I mean, what does it take to get him out of the 4th hole? Dusty Baker is massively not doing this right. I worded that possibly in the poorest way you possibly could. But Dusty Baker, you can't hit him 4th. I just don't. It's taken 3 weeks. What's it going to take? He can't hit him 4th. I mean, you won't give him a day off either. So he kills your lineup hitting 4th. And stupid, obviously counterpoint to my argument will be, well, I can't bat Tucker 4th. He's a left-handed hitter. And I got Alvarez hitting 3rd. He's a left-handed hitter. That's the stupidest logic you could possibly have to, say, well, I got 2 lefties in the lineup and I can't have them hitting back-to-back. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Especially considering, I mean, your argument would be if one of them or both of them, are not good against left-handed pitchers, which that's not the case. In fact, I believe Alvarez has better numbers against left-handed pitchers than he does right-handers. So it's all just massively not. Dusty does not. I don't get how. I don't see how he fills out his lineup card every night and continues to pencil in Abreu hitting cleanup with how bad and terrible and awful he's been. It's been all bad. Like the game they won on Friday, so they did win on Monday, and Dubon was a big part of the Monday win. They lose Tuesday, Wednesday, where they really just didn't score. So that's been the issue. Pitching's fine for me. I don't have an issue. I know Saturday's game, Montero and Stanek really screwed things up for them. But, I mean, offensively, if it's not Kyle Tucker or Yordan Alvarez, it's nobody else. Like, Friday's game is a perfect example. They scored 6 runs on Friday. And you sit there and you think, well, I mean, you scored 6 runs. People had to be producing. Not really. It was Alvarez with a 3-run shot, and Tucker hit a 2-run shot, and they stole another run of a steal of home after they, I want to say it was, who's stealing second? Somebody was stealing second in the throwdown. And they actually caught the runner stealing second, but the run scored from third coming home on the throwdown. So, but yeah, all the offense that game, although we're happy you won, but still, I want to see the Astros win a game with people like Bregman and Abreu producing. But the offense is just atrocious right now. Like yesterday, like I said, it was like pulling teeth trying to watch that offense come up with runs. But again, I know I'm at 11 minutes. I'm not going to go much over here. But yeah, it's amazing to me that they're actually at 500, how bad they played. But they got the Angels for 3 now, and then they stay out and play Chicago, White Sox, south side of Chicago for 3 before coming home. They're a better road team right now than they're a home team, but that was a bad series against the Mariners, and even worse against the Giants series before to drop 2 or 3. Just still can't get things going, and we're in May now, so this is really going to start to bother me, and it'll be cause for concern if this doesn't get figured out quickly. But yeah, the offense is just hard to watch right now. It's bad all around. Pena really hasn't given you much. I mean, the little spurt he had of hitting a home run, they were meaningless, garbage time runs for Pena. He had like a home run against, I don't know. But it's bad right now. I'm not going to blame the pitching. I know Garcia now is out for the year with Tommy John. Urquidy's going to be probably more than a month. I think Dana Brown said something like the All-Star break, so that's at least 2 months away. I won't even bring up McCullers because I'm not going to waste my time worrying about Lance McCullers and trying to whatever. Don't trust anything that Alex Bregman or anybody says about a timetable for his injuries because they're always way off. He takes like 5 months off, it feels like. I mean, he pitched one. I'm not going to get into McCullers either. I'm just not going to do it. But yeah, a lot of bad things. JP France, 5 scoreless innings, not perfect innings. I mean, a lot of traffic, tight roping at a damage, but still 5 scoreless. I can't discount that. I thought Bielak actually pitched pretty well yesterday. I feel like people are giving him a hard time, but he wasn't terrible. In fact, Abreu, golly, comes back to this, but made a crucial error. I don't know if you call it crucial, but I lost the game. But a ball got right under his legs. Ground ball right to him, under his legs, scored a run. That had to be unearned, I would assume. And then the balk, after he got brought out of a game, scored another run. So, I mean, he wasn't perfect, but I don't think he was that bad either. Yeah, I mean, 3 runs, 2 earned. I mean, he didn't get, 4 2/3, so he didn't really give you a whole lot of length. But, you got a lefty now up. This will let me click on it here. Okay, I hate this. The way they changed this app, it's just stupid now. I can't even... Because I don't even know this guy's... Let's see if I can find this here. Yeah. Stupid thing. Not working the way I wanted it to here. Trying to just click on a player and get the info and it won't. Well, that worked, but that wasn't the player I wanted. It was Phil Maton. I'm looking for Matt Gage. Yeah, he's the new lefty they brought in. who balked in a run yesterday. But Belak's performance, although it didn't go deep, wasn't terrible. I mean, he kept, if the Astros could hit with a lick, they probably won the game yesterday. So, and then Phil Maton's been good out of the bullpen. He's been one of their better relievers. Montero's not the same. Stanek's pretty bad. Seth Martinez isn't very good. Neris is okay. Abreu's okay. Presley doesn't pitch a lot, I feel like, because the Astros don't win games. Well, they don't win games, and then when they win, they usually, well, I don't know. I don't know what to make. But I don't have a big issue with Presley. But, yeah, Montero not good. Stanek not good. Martinez not good. Bullpen's not what it was last year, at least to this point. I'm going way too long, so I'll wrap things up there. I've left a lot out. I could go on for days about how bad the Astros are right now. And, yeah, it's real frustrating, and it bothers me. But you got to just hang in there. Hang in there and hope things turn around, and they should turn around because this team's way too good to not turn around. But Alex Bregman, dude, you stink. You're terrible. You suck. Pick it up. Abreu. Just be better. Not that hard. Clean slate. Give him a day off. I don't know. Just figure it out, Dusty. Don't hit him fourth. Please. I don't hit Abreu fourth. Not that hard. I don't care who you put in the 4-hole, but it should not be Abreu at all. 7th, 8th, or 9th for Abreu until further notice, until he shows you can hit the ball and actually pull. I don't think it's going to Abreu pull a ball all year. At least not like with authority. But it's all bad. It's all bad right now. Pitching, not so much. Bats, yes. But I'll wrap things up there. We'll talk to you next week. I should be in good shape, and I'll give you a longer pod here. But yeah, I need to take a nap. So wrap things up there. We'll see you next week.